Hi, it's Alex. A little video today. I'm going to talk about influencers and working with influencers, creators, however you want to say it. So obviously we know that influencers and creators are becoming more and more important in like the overall kind of marketing piece. It's something that kind of I would say you kind of learn organically. There's no like set course that says, oh, this is how you work with a influencer.
Influencers could be seen online complaining about their experience after the poorly planned festival that a lot were just referring to as Fyre Fest 2.0.
You can kind of divide like influencer and creator into like obviously the huge kind of celebrity type, like actor, sports star, musician, that kind of level, and then you can obviously go to like micro influencers, they would be called, who command a much smaller audience, and then you go down all the way down to like nano influencer, would be like someone with a, sub 10k follower or subscriber count. So yeah, before you kind of get started, you really need to kind of like know like what like type of influencer you kind of want to work with. So like after you've done that, after you've kind of identified like what type of influencer you want to work with, then you have to kind of look at how like what kind of objective do you have in terms of do you want to drive sales with your campaign, or do you want to drive like awareness? And then I would say like once you've kind of you've got your influencer type, you've got your objectives, then you can kind of start the ball rolling on kind of like identifying the person or the people you want to work with. And this is a kind of really, it gets quite creative at this point, because you can obviously reach out to agencies, talent agencies that manage these people, or you can use like software. There's a lot of different like platforms that have databases of influencers that you can kind of drill down and play with. You can obviously go on Google and the search engines and social media, YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and whatever. So it's this point where you're kind of like exploring a lot of different avenues, and you're trying to connect with them, and obviously you can you find your email address on all these platforms, and you can start to kind of build a list of people you want to work with, and then narrow that down based on some of the things we've talked about already. So like when you've kind of identified the influencer and you're thinking about the kind of content, you have to kind of do like planning in the same way you do any kind of marketing planning. So you obviously got a calendar set up, and you wanna pick specific moments to release the content, and obviously have different channels that the content's going to be on. So having the planning in place, like from the very beginning, is really important, because you can align with the influencer and then make sure that everyone knows exactly what's happening with regards to the content and any kind of deadlines that have to be met, and obviously then you can align with your own kind of team internally in your company as well. And kind of related to that is like return on investment, ROI. So again, similar to any kind of marketing campaign, you should have some kind of ROI in place, based on like obviously your objectives with with the campaign in the beginning. So the ROI might be to drive sales. So you'd obviously calculate the effect this campaign would have on sales. It could be to drive signups for a particular app or product launch. It could be kind of shares, like and driving kind of virality. So then you can calculate based on social media, like who's obviously interacting with this campaign. Yeah, and kind of related to that point is you've got the ROI, but you've also got to look at the metrics that you're tracking. So you'll be able to track a lot of kind of metrics related to your campaign using these big platforms, like on social media, or on Google Analytics, or on the link sharing service you use. You can get metrics feedback from that. And the metrics are really important because they obviously feed into the ROI and all of the reporting when the campaign's finished. And in terms of the number of metrics, I would say usually the simpler the better. If you pick like too many metrics to track, then it may become very difficult to hit your kind of your overall kind of campaign goals. And too few metrics obviously doesn't really kind of provide you with enough kind of granularity in terms of exactly what you're trying to achieve. So yeah, picking the right metrics is really important, and they should be aligned with the overall campaign. Yeah, those are just some things I think you need to think about when you're working with influencers. I think the biggest issue is for me, like among everything we've talked about, is definitely like the vetting or the obviously the choosing the right influencer to work with. In an ideal world, you want to work with someone who's like really passionate about your product, brand, or space, because at the end of the day, like the reason you choose influencers over just regular advertising is you want to connect with your customers and audience in a way that you can't using the other mediums. Another thing as well is that obviously this person you choose will be in effect speaking for your product or brand on a big stage. So if for whatever reason in the past or possibly in the future they say something really really shitty or they do something bad, that's going to reflect bad on you as well. So yeah, that's just the video today. Let me know if you have worked with influencers before or have any kind of fun stories to tell. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.